Hey, it's Ananas 102. Today I'm doing a tutorial on level 29. If you're interested in just watching a walkthrough, you can find the link to mine down below. So let's get started. None of this is really particularly new. However, you are going to notice that you have frosting in the corners below, and of course they are going to be one of your larger challenges. No new strategies here. I'm going to look for special ways of creating, unique treats and such. But it's always best to work from the bottom if you can. If you can't, head for the corners. These corners are going to be the more difficult parts to clear out. And here you have the frosting and the jelly behind. So you have 3 layers really to clear out behind, because the frosting, then the white layer of jelly, and then the clear level of jelly. Okay, so there's not much I can do down here at this point. I'm going to turn my attention upwards. I don't want to waste this striped candy, because it's not going to take anything out. So I'm just going to leave that one there for now. Now I'm just debating here, because I can move this up here and take those 2 jellies out, or I can move that down there and take those 2 jelly out. I'm usually a bigger fan of moving the lower out of the way, as I stated earlier. And as I was saying, I do keep an eye on the corners, because if I have an opportunity to clear out the jelly in the corners, even if I have a move down below, I'm going to do that, because those corners are going to be the ones that are going to really trip you up. Suggested moves aren't always going to be your best option. I mean, that's really not going to do much for me, other than to possibly change the layout a little bit down here. But it's just going to drop a couple purples, unless another purple drops on top of that. I'm not really furthering my cause. However, my other option is to basically waste one of those, and leaves me in no better position. So I'm actually going to take their suggested move. Well, that worked nicely, because now I can get rid of that corner. Oh, and that landed perfectly to take out that corner. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna just move this out of the way. Ooh, I gotta take care of that corner, and take care of that jelly, and we're almost done with up here. Okay, now, if you haven't really experienced much with swapping the striped candies, remember that the direction that you're going to swap in is the row that is going to go horizontal. So if I were to swap the blue down to the orange position, this will be the horizontal. The second from the bottom is going to be a horizontal row. And if I move the orange up, then the third row from the bottom is going to be the one that gets taken out. And before I do that, I think I'm going to just get rid of this one jelly over here. Oh, and this is lovely, because now I'm going to swipe the orange up, because I want to take care of the corners as much as I possibly can. Additionally, it's going to leave this striped candy completely alone. Ultimately, I would like to take this advantage of this and take out that row too, but remember, I'm going to be taking this row out, and I'll be getting rid of that purple one right there. And as I'm playing, I'm just keeping an eye on both what's happening up here, because if an opportunity to get the dotted chocolate candy comes along, then I'm going to try to take it, or even strategic striped candies. In this case, I'm going to actually... okay, I'm fighting my natural inclination. My natural inclination is going to go this way to make a striped candy this way. However, the flashing move, which I hadn't even noticed, is much more obvious, and will do more in terms of clearing out jelly, because I'll clear out 3 layers of jelly here, and I'll clear out the frosting here. So I'm going to actually do that. Okay, that was just coincidental. It's lovely when that sort of thing happens, and understand that I am just another player. I don't have any special insides to this game. I only play because I only post videos because I really don't like having to use these boosters up here, and I want to prove to people that all these levels are completely passable with enough patience, and sometimes frustration and pulling out of hair. All levels are possible without having to spend a single dime. This one's only separated by 1 from striped candy, and if I can get that connected, I can turn all my blues into striped candies and take out a whole mass of the board that way. So I'm just going to leave that alone. Not really accessible for the red at the moment, but it's a possibility. So again, I have my striped candies. It's a great combination, but I don't want to take that out accidentally, especially since that's not going to take anything out. So I just need to remember which direction I'm going to swap. If I swap it this way, the purple to the green, my vertical is going to go this row, 3rd from the right. And if I do it the other way, my vertical is going to go right onto the row I don't want to take out. And just remember, this is tempting. This is so tempting to swap that out and be like, oh, I'm going to have the clear space to stripe. But remember, if you're to do that, you're going to take out the reds. And I find myself often struggling against that inclination, actually. Okay, opportunity to take this guy out and create a striped candy in the process. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to go ahead and take care of these oranges. So that's going to drop my purples so that I'm in line to either make a striped candy here or to take a couple jellies out here. I'm going to take out these 2 jellies here because this vertical one isn't going to serve much purpose, and I already have a couple striped candies right here. And if I can get that one even to drop, I love swapping these with the wrapped candies because then it takes out 2 colors and it makes new matches much more possible. I'm going to do that so I can take this out. That drops me next to that. I'm first going to take that corner out. I'm going to take that corner out. I'm going to take that corner out. And understand what I'm doing always is risky because there's the possibility that I end up accidentally sending that off and not being able to do the move that I want. So if you're much more cautious, you might take that before you clear out the corners like I just did. But that's how I approached it. Now, if I switch this here, just be aware that that wrapped candy is not going to stay. This is a blue candy as well, so even though it's a wrapped candy, and I don't really want to waste it, I'm going to get more benefit by having those 4 turn into striped this, because my inclination, if this was not even a possibility, would be to swap that up because I would set off a bomb explosion, which will take out 2 layers and also would create a stripey at the same time, and the bomb going off the second time would take that stripey out too. So it's kind of a fun move, but I'd rather do this. Not bad. I'm tempted to move this here and create a striped, Though if I were to do that, then I would end up matching something I don't want to match. So I'm actually going to do that instead. And do that. Drops that. Go ahead and do that. Well, it doesn't really matter which I do. I could swap this over, set off that, would take out that jelly. I could swap it over here. Wouldn't do much more. Would set that off, and it kind of had the same effect. And that's what I'm going to do. Because actually, if I do this here, I lied. I do this here. Now, if you can swap a striped with a wrapped candy, then you can create 3 rows vertically and 3 rows horizontally that will be set off. And again, it depends on which direction you're going to swap it in. If you swap this one down, the center of your box of 9, I kind of consider it, is going to be there. If you swap this up, your center, whatever the landing spot is of your swap, is going to be the center of your event, if you will. And so since it doesn't really matter because either way I'm going to take out this and this, but I kind of have this thing for being centered. And also kind of forgot about that as I was saying that. So if I do this, it'll take out all the rest of my remaining jelly and leave me with 15 moves to give me a nice sugar crush at the end. Doesn't this sort of drive you crazy? It's over and I just want to swap it. Anyway, so there it is. Your way to complete level 29.